Hello, my name is Karen, and for as long as I can remember, my sister Jennifer and I have been like chalk and cheese. We look quite similar, both tall with curly black hair, but that's about the only thing that we have in common. Oh, and our birthdays are on the same day, but 2 years apart. She's older than me. She's super outgoing and is always the center of attention at family gatherings, whereas I tend to stick to the side of the room, and I guess you could say I'm quiet. She's obsessed with sports, and I'm obsessed with books. Boys are always chasing her, and well, the only boy who talks to me is our little brother Joe. Last summer, our parents decided it would be a fun family bonding experience to go on a road trip through France. We would camp along the way and practice our French and buy fresh baguettes every morning. Jennifer asked if she could bring her bike, and I made a trip to the library to stock up on books. When we reached our first campsite, I found a neat little spot between 2 trees to tie my hammock. Jennifer and Joe headed to the lake for a swim. It felt like paradise. I must have fallen asleep because the next thing I knew, there was a strange boy standing next to me grinning. He asked me my name and said he thought I was cute. I almost fell out my hammock. No one has ever told me I'm cute. Well, no one except my grandma, but that doesn't count. A boy thought I was cute. I kept expecting it to be some kind of prank, but he kept standing there and kept grinning, and soon I was grinning too. He told me his name was William and asked me if I'd like to take a walk down to the lake. I hesitated, but then agreed. Joe and Jennifer were still there, so maybe we could all hang out, and I couldn't wait to see Jennifer's face when she saw me with a boy. We made small talk as we walked to the lake, and as we got closer, I spotted Jennifer. William spotted her too, and guessed straight away that it was my sister. We all hung out at the side of the lake, and Jennifer kept diving in. She loved to show off, especially in front of boys. William was watching her, but at the same time, he reached out to hold my hand. I couldn't believe a boy was holding my hand. For the next few days, William and I continued to hang out. We went for walks together, and almost always bumped into my sister whilst she was out cycling. On the last day of our stay at the campsite, he made us a picnic and suggested we eat it down by the lake. I didn't really want to go there because ever since I'd met William, Jennifer had been teasing me, and I knew she would be at the lake as usual. But William was insistent. When we got there she was, and I suddenly felt really strange. William asked my sister to join us. I thought it was going to be a romantic last date, but now she was going to be third wheeling. The whole way through the picnic, William only had eyes for my sister, and he kept laughing at every little thing she said. At one point, I left to go to the bathroom, and when I came back, it was like he hadn't even noticed. I eventually felt tired and said goodnight to William. Jennifer came back to the tent with me, but she seemed quiet. She obviously knew I was upset. We got into our sleeping bags, and Jennifer went straight to sleep. I kept tossing and turning and thinking about William. He'd barely even acknowledged me. Just as I was about to fall asleep, I heard 2 voices outside our tent. I realized it was William and his friend Ben. They were laughing about something, and then I heard William saying, "Oh, I was only dating Karen to try and make her big sister Jennifer jealous. Jennifer ignored me that first day at the lake, so I figured the best way to get back at her is to date her sister. But what a mistake. Karen is so boring." I wanted to climb out of the tent and shout at him, but it didn't even seem worth it. He certainly wasn't my boyfriend anymore, and he didn't deserve me. How dare he say I was boring, and to treat me and my sister like that? He's the most immature boy I've ever met. I told Jennifer about it in the morning, and she wasn't even surprised. She said she figured it out pretty quickly that he wasn't a nice guy, but she didn't know how to tell me. She apologized that she hadn't stopped it sooner, but she'd wanted to let me experience dating a guy for myself. My sister is pretty feisty though, and she wouldn't let this go. She went out and found William, and in front of all his friends, she told him exactly how immature he was. He went bright red and almost fell in the lake, and Jennifer and I stood there proudly, holding hands. As we walked back to our tent, my sister leaned over to me and whispered into my ear, "No guy will ever separate us, okay? Sisters before misters. Pinky promise? Pinky promise." What do you think of this story? Feel free to share your comments and stories in the comments section below. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel.